3 years ago I was here explaining a situation I had for 35 years that later was described in the CD as he's having unworldly experiences. And I wanted to find out what's the facility for these. What am I these for? Why am I having them? You said you had a conflict of postulates going on, not your word, mine.
Yeah, I never know.
And that I would have more of them, but they would be more pleasant. With all respect, that did not happen. However, I did find out what the conflict in desires was. One was exteriorization with full perception at will, which I was able to do occasionally.
Give us more detail about that.
It's where the body is someplace and I'm close by, but I'm not paying attention to it, and I'm connected with other things that I don't know what that is, and go into a dynamic loosening of the physical universe. When it first happened, there was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth, and once there was a vision of a council where in the middle of the council was Humpty Dumpty, and he said to me, "You're not participating." I said, "What are you talking about?" Because I knew exactly what he meant about that. And that dramatic aspect has lessened over the decades. The other conflict was the first time I took LSD that I felt really happy for the first time, I supposed. I said, well, if this is happiness, I want to experience this straight. So over the decades, that's what I've been accomplishing. And since our last talk, even though those particular types of things haven't happened, one short interlude that was very uncomfortable, and I heard your voice saying, "What do you feel like? What do you feel like? What do you feel like?" I said, "Man, I don't like this. I don't feel good." And what it was I take about 52 pictures a second in this body. And I was experiencing the previous picture, the present time picture, and the future picture all at the same time. And the body entities, the two body entities, which is my second subject, were going apeshit and did not like it at all. And I said, hang in there. Inner being comes in and says, just relax, this is going to be fine. Drive your truck. I said, drive my truck. And so I drove my truck around, everything was fine, but this was still happening. The previous picture, the present picture, and what I have not quite looked at yet, all happening at the same time.
So if the pictures are coming, let's just say for ease of conversation, about one every second. Mm-hmm. So you've got a sort of 3-second blur going on?
No blur, but it was that they were happening at the same time. What I had not, for instance, put my eyes on yet was in the picture.
So does it feel to you like you are... Sometimes people ask the question, we're just going to build a little basis here because we can get right to the heart of what you're talking about easily. So we have to lay a little bit of basis here. Sometimes people will ask about what deja vu is. That sort of sensation that I've been here before, that all of these players were here and that the environment was like this and that the people that were talking even said those things. And you just have that sense, I've been here before or I've lived this before. Have you ever experienced that? So what that is since everything has happened vibrationally before it is translated into your conscious awareness, the better you get at translating vibration, then the more you are able to get some of those advanced announcements. It's like your consciousness is translating it into a reality ahead of its usual ability to translate it into reality. Now, it's only because of the conversation that we've already been having here today, out here on this leading edge, that your conversation even fits at all in with this. Because what this is a conversation about is a conversation of perception. In other words, we started to play, and we know that you're solid enough to take our playing. We started to say to the group, and you thought we were, because we've been leading them into an understanding that they are creating their own reality and that they are vibrational beings. And most people it's quite a stretch to go from the manifested world that you are accustomed to calling reality into this not yet manifested world that we're calling vortex, or into this not yet manifested world that we're calling this vibrational reality. So, and to some who hear you, they're not sure that they want to depart from what they call normal reality so much that it is uncomfortable or unpleasant. But nevertheless, that's what you are doing. You are perceiving. We think that it is exceptionally brilliant. We think that your words were chosen very well as you are trying to define that the pictures that you're taking, which we would translate that as to say, my moment-to-moment perception of life, the pictures that you're taking are sort of past, present, future, past, present, future, past, present, future. And we would like all of you to get better at present, future, present, future, present, future, so much so that you are actually offering vibrations about future events, much more than about past events, and maybe even much more than about present events, because you can't move to the things you want, which are future experiences, if you're really focused powerfully in the present. And so it's something like that that is going on with you, your ability to perceive. You're translating it very literally. In fact, you've put very literal material words to the things that we've been waving Esther's arms around trying to explain in terms of vibration for a while. But the whole thing comes down to perception. The whole thing comes down to focus. And we want to say to you, you have more control over your moment of focus than maybe you've been giving yourself credit for. You've been a sort of scientific explorer in all of this and showing yourself that you can experience things that a lot of people are not experiencing. And we just want you to know that you have control over it. And the way we would soothe it, the words that we would like to say, it doesn't even really need to be soothed, but the words that we would say that will bring it into the context that maybe you can do something more with is that you're getting glimpses that your inner being is seeing. You're beginning to see, not just beginning, begin doing it for a while. You're seeing this world through the eyes of broader perspective. And the discord that you're feeling as you're perceiving it and then trying to explain it is you're trying to figure out who's seeing what. And we think that's why you're saying that it's before and then now and then just a little bit ahead. Wouldn't all of you like to have an advanced picture of what's going on? Wouldn't you like to be able to see something so clearly that you know it even before it is? And so recently we've been saying for a long time that what you think, the thoughts you think, what you're focused upon, and therefore the vibration that you're offering, and the emotion that you feel, which is the result of that, all equals what manifests in your experience. So we've been spending quite a bit of time lately trying to help you understand, as you are the creator of your own reality, how things come from that vibrational, not yet tangible state of being into a manifested tangible state. And it all lies in perception. It all lies in your ability to tune to a frequency that allows you to perceive it. And this is the thing that humans, we love you so much, stubbornly hold back from. You want to call reality one thing and you want to call non-physical another. You want to call what's manifested, like the money that you've got in your bank, one thing, and you want to call vibration something else. And we want you to understand that it's all the same thing. And that when you accept that it is all the same thing, and you accept that you are the thinker of the vibrational currency, that you are the director of the thought, and that you are the synthesizer of the energy, and most important of all, you are then the translator of the energy that you have created into the reality that you call real life. Now, those were interesting words. In many cases, you were right up to speed with us. In other words, this reality that you want to call reality is not the reality that you think the reality that you want to call reality is. And it only exists because of your ability to perceive the reality. So in your willingness to alter your perception just a little bit, in your willingness to accept that you are vibrational beings and that you have vibrational sensors, you're going to begin to translate that vibration into more meaningful things. And that's what you have been about.
Okay. Since that incident on the time sequence, things have improved considerably in my ability to use the concepts that you brought forth that I had the basis of already but didn't quite have the angle
Yes.
on. And it has brought the realization that this planet is a theme park. And that you come in saying, well, I'd like to experience a physical body for different reasons. And that the body has two other dynamics. Beingnesses. One is through the reptile that controls the body. Primary directive is survival of the body. The other is the emotion. Primary directive is to feel good, to provide energy. Consequently, the word emotion, energy in motion. Since that timing adjustment, that I've had better communication, more direct, and can feel them with the inner being. If I'm the outer being, if I'm the outer being, I already know everything you're talking about. So where is the conflict? The conflict comes with the previous lives of these other two, what they experienced in imprinting and hardwiring of this one.
Let's use the word, let's focus for just a moment on the word knowing. Because the word knowing is present tense.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, this vibrational atmosphere that we're encouraging you to focus on and to work on and to accomplish is a current thing, a current thing.
I had that.
So when you use the word knowing, we want to use the word current active vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So when you know something, that means the vibration is current and active, which means you're in sync with that broader perspective. And
Right
so
now.
there can be no conflict in knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Because knowing is conflict free. Knowing is resistance free. Yeah.
There's no conflict in this perception. However, the re-education of those two by me, the outer being, parenting them to come up to present time, make different choices on the significance applied to things, has produced great fruit. I can say that in these
Well,
last
you're
2
using
years.
other words than the words that we usually use, but you're saying the same thing.
Well,
So we're going to translate what you just said. So you're recognizing that there's this inner being, we're calling this source, and there's this extension of inner being, which you are calling outer being. And we are calling this extension that you are calling outer being the leading edge, explorer, and decider, and chooser. So you're choosing from among everything that has existed, things that have not yet existed. Because that's the whole point of the eternal nature of our being. So as life causes you to synthesize all of this that you're exploring and come to conclusions of desire that you can't yet believe because you don't have the physical experience to believe it because it's not ever been before. And humans are usually falling back on their exposure to what has been in order to believe. But you have an inner being who, as you said, knows already because is experienced already, and so stands holding that knowledge, waiting for you to come into vibrational alignment with it.